Hello and greetings to you all, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet, the third rock from the sun. My name is Anthony Altman, and the title of this video is Vanishing Point. The date is the 5th of March. I think I gave that, 5th of March, 2024. I did not know whether this was an inspirational video or self-discovery or any of the series, so it's just on its own because it's a little bit unusual, like me. And for those of you who may not fully understand what I'm about to say, it may stretch you, but stay with me if you can. Everything in the universe is energy, and time is an artificial construct. The past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. And this reality is a simulation like all other realities. How's that for simplicity? So here we are in what is regarded as the third dimensional reality, which means that we are vibrating at a certain frequency. And everything is extremely solid, and we are all experiencing this particular timeline. Now, there are different realities, different timelines, and what is understood to be parallel universes, parallel realities, and parallel timelines. Now, we are here at the moment, and we are always on the move, even if it takes thousands and thousands of years, because in terms of cosmic timekeeping, a million years is like a drop in the ocean. It's nothing, really. To us, 100 years is a lot, and that's just because of our programming and the consciousness that we are expressing, embodying at the moment. Now, Vanishing Point, the title of this video, is particularly interesting to me because after giving everything a lot of attention and due thought and listening and reading and doing a lot of research, as I am inclined to do, excuse me, after a few minutes of talking, I have to blow my nose, and this is the third time. Excuse me. I don't know what it is. Everything's up for grabs at the moment. Nothing is normal, usual. It's all changing. So here we have different, and I'm bringing together all my different videos that I have. I have over 60 videos right from a few years ago. And the videos of last year, this year are current and very much different, indicating a different perception, my perception, and a different state of consciousness, which is how it should be, how it is. However, all the information, even a few years ago, is still valid and can be of use to some people. So taking everything into consideration, meaning that we have soul age groups in this reality, which means that people, the souls of people are in groups of different ages, infant, baby, adolescent, teenage, and all that, until you get to the old soul. And within these groups, there are people who are expressing, reflecting, demonstrating different levels of consciousness and different degrees of their human potential, their individual human potential. So we're all different. And yet there is, and we are at the halfway mark of the precession of the equinoxes. It's like a 12,500 year period with another 12,500 years to go till we get to the top, and then I guess it just continues. We are just coming out of Kali Yuga. We've emerged from the Piscean age. We're now in the Aquarian age, and everything is ready for change. Now, change in the three-dimensional terms, human terms of the three dimension, seem to indicate that human beings, tend to learn better through suffering and pain, unfortunately. That's what they seem to experience, choose. Humans don't learn very easily. It takes them a long time to learn through a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. So here we are experiencing a lot of pain. Just come out of a pandemic, and the drama has not yet finished. It's not completed. There's other things that are brewing, which has all been going on for many years, centuries, in fact. Certainly for the last 120, 130 years. And psychics and some people feel that we're heading rather rapidly towards a third world war, which is quite possible. The way things are at the moment, we've been building up to that for years. But now it seems as if that's where we're heading. But that is one timeline. And there are other timelines that humanity can choose in terms of group consciousness. So we don't really know exactly if we're going to have a war, but it's possible. And I am looking at the possibility of such a war and what would happen. And this is the purpose of this video. Should there be a world war, it seems to me that within our humanity, I'm going to use the accepted statistics. It seems that this could be reasonably accurate. 80% of the people on this planet, generally speaking, are following a path that is not taking them to less suffering, peace, harmony, well-being, and prosperity. It's taking them along a path that is filled with trials and tribulations, war, conflict, and what have you. And we know that in a democratic or in any political situation, even bureaucracy, even in, let's say, the dictatorship of Venezuela, if the people really didn't want it, they would say, okay, we're just not going to work, or we're all just stopping, nothing. We don't agree with this, but they don't do that. So the dictatorship continues and the people suffering continue. The same thing in areas where there is communism. The people can stop it because a few thousand people cannot control hundreds of millions of people, unless the hundreds of millions of people are willing to be controlled by a few thousand people in terms of, let's say, communism, socialism, capitalism, whatever it is. Now, here we are in the West, and I am including Canada, United States of America, even Mexico, and Europe and the United Kingdom, and where I live here in Israel, which is very closely connected to America. And there's just conflict. Everything is spiraling down into chaos. Just chaos. It's not funny, but nobody's stopping it. The people are not stopping it. En masse, the people can stop it, but they're not. So it tells me that 80% are going in that direction because that's what they're choosing by what they're doing or they're not doing, by what they're saying or they're not saying, by what they're thinking or not thinking. And the other 20% are the people who know what's going on, don't agree, they would like to change, but they're not enough in number to make a difference. And within that group of 20%, there are people who've done a great deal of work on themselves and have neutralized, removed many of their inner so-called obstacles, hurdles that prevents them or prevented them from accessing greater degrees of consciousness, more of their human potential and more of their own individual potential. And so they're further along the path than others. And it seems to me that if there is going to be a war, the people who have evolved whereby they are not, it's not necessary for them to experience that war, to have that experience, that they may just blip out of this timeline into another timeline. It may be another third dimensional timeline. It may be a higher frequency of the third dimension, or it may be another dimension. I really don't know. But my mind immediately goes back to what happened to the Anasazi in the 1200s, where en masse they just disappeared. And in recent times, the people who who research past civilizations, I just cannot remember the name for the moment, and have actually investigated what happened to them, have discovered that whatever happened to them, they all left en masse while they were cooking. Just, it was sudden, just gone. And it seems that the same situation may have occurred to the Mayan people. So people and civilizations have disappeared from visibility. And where have they gone to? Have they gone to another timeline? Have they gone to another reality altogether, a dimensional reality? I don't know for sure. But what I am reasonably sure is that such people who are eligible to move into another timeline or frequency of vibration, because they are it's no longer necessary for them to experience war, they will go to a timeline where they can experience what they've earned, maybe more love, more compassion, more peace and harmony. So I feel that there's going to be some shifting of consciousness and shifting of groups. And I encourage anybody to do whatever they can to develop more of their innate consciousness and human potential so that they can actually become eligible to experience a reality which is an improvement on what we are experiencing here. And if there is such a war, my further feeling, and this is just me thinking, feeling, I don't know how accurate I am, but I want to share this information. For the people who do actually experience a war, if that is what is going to happen in this timeline, at the beginning of the war, there will be people who will have the experience of the beginning of the war, and that will be enough to cause them to make a shift sufficiently to go into another timeline or dimensional reality. Others will go into the war and suffer, and that suffering will be the last suffering that they are required to experience in order to shift their frequency to a higher octave of vibration. And they will go into another timeline. And there are other people who will continue with the war, and the same thing will happen. And perhaps at the end of the war, there will be people who will have experienced enough of suffering. Because when you've experienced enough of suffering, then you are more inclined to do something to develop more consciousness, more human potential, so that you are able to raise your frequency and move from this reality to another reality, which is on an evolutionary scale. So where we have so much less love and compassion, peace and harmony, we'll go to another reality where there is more love and compassion, peace and harmony. This is just my thoughts, my feelings, and I'm urging everybody who is interested to do whatever they can do to raise their consciousness. If you don't know what to do, then go to my website, the address of which is down below in the comments, in the description, the synopsis of this video. You can send me a message in the comments, send a message here on YouTube or wherever this video is. And you can go to my website on the contact page and you can send me an email message. I will be happy to enter into dialogue with you. I have a lot of information that may be of some help. And failing that, go onto the internet and listen to some other people. There are plenty. This is the time to do it. We've run out of time. But time is artificial. It doesn't really exist. Consciousness exists. But we are living an interesting drama, and the drama includes time. So thank you very much for joining me on this most unusual road less traveled, and I will see you next time.